Watchmaking is all about trying to achieve perfection. You're always striving to make the very, very best. A quartz watch doesn't have a soul, it doesn't have a heart, it's just a dead, monotonous tick. With a handmade watch, you get a completely different feel than any watch. And the thing that is so unique about it is the fact that it's been created by the hand of one person.
One finds that one is shaping these components according to the natural laws of the universe.
George Daniels was the first man in history to have ever sat down and made a complete watch from start to finish. As a young sort of 18-year-old, I was completely bowled over, and I wrote him and asked if he would apprentice me. He invited me over to the Isle of Man, and he said, "You have my book, Watchmaking." He said, "It teaches you in there how to make a watch from start to finish. Go away and teach yourself." And that's what basically I did. I went away and started to make my very first pocket watch.
It's got to be impeccable. It's got to look as if it were created out of the atmosphere.
He looked at the watch and he wasn't impressed. He was really quite furious, actually. I went away and I remember thinking, well, I just want to start another. The whole watch took 5.5 years to make, and it was rebuilt about 4 times during that period. Each year I was improving and improving. And I thought, well, now it's time to show it to George Daniels. George sat down at his bench, this bench here, and he opened the box and he took out the watch, and he just sat there for a few minutes, just turning it over in his hands, looking at it, inspecting it. He eventually asked who made the case, and I said, I made the case. And he said, who made the escape wheel? So I said, I did. And he said, and who made the detent? So I said, I did. And then suddenly he just closed the back, put it down, stood up, turned round, and with a big smile he said, congratulations, you're a watchmaker. He offered me a position here on the Isle of Man to work with him in his studio, and I agreed readily, and within a few months I was moving over. In the studio we create about 10 pieces per year, and these watches are some of the rarest watches that you'll find anywhere in the world. The build time for my watches, it's about 6 months for each watch. The case for the watch will take about 10 days from start to finish. A dial will take 3 weeks, and the mechanism of the watch will take about 3 to 4 months to complete. Watchmaking at this level is very unusual in the fact that we are creating components. We'll spend an incredible amount of time decorating and finishing them, and then we'll cover that component up with a watch dial, and the component will never ever be seen again. Today we live in a world which is all about speed, all about cheapness, and you switch on the TV and people are making their garden, they're rebuilding their house in 2 days, 3 days, they're replacing their garden in an afternoon. And I don't really understand that world, because quality is never achieved by doing anything like that. What I think we need in this world is we need to sit back and think about things a little bit more, and we need to start to appreciate that quality is not something that we create in an instant. It takes time, it takes thought. I suppose this is why I approach my watchmaking as I do.